Welcome to Crafts and Minis. This is week 16 of doing that hashtag hobby streak where every day I do just a little bit in the hobby. I give you an update video every week on what I've been able to do, and every day on Twitter I post just an image of the work in progress or what I get done for that day. Now, you can see that I do not have as much to show you as I have in some other weeks. Last week I think I finished over 60 models. This week I finished 18. But you know what? I'm just as proud, if not more proud of this week, and I'm not just saying that. This week was tough. It was full. I didn't have as much extra time as I did the week before, and even the motivation was starting to get chipped away at. And you know what that's like. If you do this hobby, you know we go in spurts. But that's where I'm really grateful, actually, to have the discipline built in now of over 100 days doing the hashtag hobby streak, because on those days that I didn't want to do anything, I was just ready for bed, I still did like a wash on a mini. And since I got a Umber Hulk done, if you've been watching these videos, you know that's what I do on the days I don't want to do anything else. So let me show you what I was able to get done. First here, over on the left, was this model from the HeroClix range. Now, I don't remember what the name of this character was. Someone said it was the Cloak. I guess that's the hero, superhero maybe. But you can take some of these sculpts from HeroClix and use them in Dungeons and Dragons or other fantasy games really easily. I snapped it off the Click base, of course. I put on this base, which is one of those counting chips that I use to mount my medium-sized miniatures. And I primed it. I didn't strip the paint off the original one. You can always do that. I love Dave over at Miniature Mashup. He's always stripping the HeroClix, but you don't have to do that. And then I just repainted it on top of the primer that I used. And it turned out really okay. I still need to do my dull coat on top, so these shiny spots, because of the ink I used, in the depths there of the cloak, they're still a little too shiny for my taste. But those will get dulled up when I do the dull coat on all these. And I'm actually hoping I can do some of that dull coat as the weather where I'm at is getting warmer. In fact, I'll show you some things I'm going to go prime right now, which that's part of what keeps me motivated, right? Not only like all these opportunities to paint, but also the opportunity to prepare models and knowing that I can go outside now as the weather gets a little bit nicer. When I say a little bit nicer, I mean above freezing. Gets me motivated too, because I love having just tons of options of primed models at my fingertips where I can let my inspiration guide me on what looks cool to paint and just go with it. Now, this Umber Hulk is actually one of my favorites that I've painted up so far. And I've painted up, you know, a bunch of Umber Hulks. But let me explain the phases of this. I primed it black all around, then did that Zenithal prime with just a white spray from the top, right? So you get the two tones, dark on the bottom, lighter on top. Then I just washed it all the way around with a Liquitex Artist ink, like a reddish brown. That worked out so nice. And then I just did a wash of the Sepia wash from Vallejo that comes in the 200 milliliter tubs. And it turned out awesome. I then just painted the eyes white and used a little Tamiya red clear coat on those and then painted up the base. But honestly, even though I extended this to like 3 days of my hashtag hobby streak on Twitter, because I did one step each day, this took a total of 15 minutes tops. 15 minutes, and I got an awesome looking miniature that looks like it's been like shaded well, and it's got the highlights and all that. And I'm not going to go over the top. I'm talking about another Umber Hulk. But I just want to tell you, you don't have to put in crazy amount of time if all you're looking for is a standard you're happy with on the table. Speaking of standards I'm happy with on the table, here are 16 gargoyles from WizKids in that Nolzur's line that come pre-assembled, pre-primed. Now, I mounted these on a base. And you see they're smaller than 25 millimeters, and they cost, the base is valued at about $100 for $1. I'll just leave it at that, right? I don't think I have to show you what it is. And then I textured it up, and then I did the same prime, black all around, white from the top. And so you can see, like inside the wings here, they're a little bit darker. That's because, like, when you do white from the top, it doesn't necessarily get on the inside of the wings, it gets on the other side. But what I did the same technique I did for the Umber Hulk. And you can tell there's a little different coloration on them. Well, that's because of the sculpts themselves, that whether it holds the wash in the same way or not, right? So I did that same reddish brown Liquitex ink on them, and then I did the sepia wash over that. And I like how these came out. There's a lot of shadow. There's a lot of dark spots on these, but I really like that, you know, and they were super simple to do. When you're talking batch painting, I'm all for simplicity, cutting down steps, and that's what I did with these. You know, they have the two different sculpts, which is nice. These are all pretty standard with the wings down. They look the same. But when the wings are up, you actually get a couple different styles. Like this one, like look at these two. I don't know if you can tell that much, but I think you can. The one on the left, the wings are out a little bit more, and the one on the right come in a little bit more. And those are the same sculpt. It's just, you know, they came differently in the package. Now, if that's an issue to you, you can use a heat gun or put them in hot water, and they'll go back to their original form. I've done that on my Umber Hulks. I actually use a heat gun to make them stand up a little more. So even though this guy's leaning down pretty good, he actually, one of the hands goes all the way to the base if you don't use a heat gun to bring these guys up. But I just wanted to show you the wings. I like the variation in wings. I like that there's different positions of the wings for a big group like this. And I really like this particular model simply because it's simple. It's readable on the tabletop. Like you can tell, oh, that's a little creature with wings, but it's versatile, right? Like this could be a fey creature, it could be a demon, it could be a gargoyle, all sorts of little things. And I got 16 of them. So watch out, party. Here these come. And that's it for this week. I wasn't able to do much else, but one of my channels that I really enjoy watching every Monday is Doc Eon, and I'll actually put a link to his channel in my description just because he was an inspiration to me of showing what he's painted every week, and then he also shows what he's working on that will be painted, or like works in progress. Now, I'm not going to go that far to show you like what's on the painting desk necessarily every week, but I just wanted to show you that because the weather's better here now and I am going to prime some things, what I'm going to be priming today. So first of all, I'm priming up these two sculpts. I have another two of these also. So I got 4 of these all together. These are from the Rune Wars line, and I forget what they're called, but they're like these cool, huge, I mean, they're large size, right? That's a 2-inch base that they're on. Large size, ghostly type creatures, and I'm so excited to do these. Like, these are going to be so cool. They're mounted on these washers, 2-inch washers, textured up. I did cut off their integral base because they come on a pill-sized base. That's fine. You could even just base them up, use that as the base. They sit on the table. But I wanted to put them on these washers, and I didn't want to just glue that to the washer. So I trimmed them up to be able to fit them on here, and I'm really looking forward to painting those up. Some other things. I've got 6 of these guys. Can you see a theme here? I like the stuff with wings right now that I'm really trying to get on the table. These are Reaper sculpts, and they're Reaper Bones figures. Dang, I'm sorry I don't remember the name of the actual thing. But if you know, Reaper site's easy to search on, so you can find these that are really cool. But they're a little different because the wings are actually connected to the arms, which is a cool different look. And I have like their bat demons that are large size, so I wanted some medium sized winged creatures also, and then I can use these guys as small size. See how that works? Boom. And actually, of course, I'm tempted to get more of these. Like 6 is great, but you know what's better? 12. Like how cool would it be to have a dozen of those? I think it'd be pretty cool. Then, boom. 2 different sorts of figures. On the right is a toy. On the left is a high quality resin miniature sculpt. On the right. So this is a toy from Funko. It's in their mystery box, I think, for Gears of War. Is that right? Is that a Gears of War bad guy? I love playing that game with my buddy over the years. Co-op mode. You know who you are, who does that. He gave me a pity subscription to the channel, which I'm very happy about. I don't think he actually watches, but that's okay. And then on the left here, oh gosh, this is a resin sculpt of a dwarven statue. See how it's like supposed to all be stone I love that. So it could just be a statue like that. Of course, though, it could be a living statue. It could be a golem, some sort of awesome construct. And that's how I'm going to paint it up, I think, as stone, but then use it as all those different things. And gosh, where is this from? Oh, I'm going to have to say it in the comments. I came ill prepared to the video today, but I was really pleased with the service. I think I got it on a Black Friday sale, actually, and I am so looking forward to priming and painting this fella up. It's going to be great. And then, I've shown this in another video, but I cannot wait. Look how big that is compared to everything else. Oh my goodness. This is the body of a Doomsday Funko Pop. Doomsday from DC. They did a Funko Pop for one of the DC movies, and I simply glued it to 100 millimeter 4-inch base, put some cork on there, used basing texture, textured it up. Awesome. That's glued on with E6000 directly from this to the base. No pinning, and it seems to be okay. You're always taking a risk whenever you glue something this large to a base without pinning, but that seems to be okay. The E6000 is great. And I gave him a new head. I've shown this before that I sculpted this head. I cannot wait to prime it up and then get this painted. When this looks all the same color and just paint it up to all look like it doesn't have a sculpted on head, I can't wait. Like, this is going to be such a cool, just ginormous creature. And again, I glued it to a large tongue depressor, so when I prime it, I can get all the angles, prime underneath, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know what it does. So that's this week. I'm looking forward to it. Some of that stuff, yeah, if I get that primed today, most of that might be painted up for next week, and that would be a pretty cool week, actually. But I've got other stuff on the table, too. I've got some other Funko stuff from those mystery boxes that I'm excited to get painted. And I've got to decide what 3 miniatures I want to commit to painting to for the Goblin Paint Challenge. Hashtag Goblin Paint on Twitter from Michael Mordor, the Goblin King. So you'll see all that for next week. But even though I didn't get as many minis painted this week, I am still happy. I am still grateful you're checking this out. I just hope you're having a lot of fun in the hobby. So much good stuff out there. Love our community. Love the hobby. Keep encouraged. Go get after it. Even on those days that it's really difficult, do yourself a favor and do something. Just do something, right? And after a while, it all adds up. Thank you for checking it out this week. This was week 16 of Hashtag Hobby Streak. And go get after your hobby.